Hello. It's been a while. 7 months actually. I wanted to make this video to mark my progression as a Roblox developer. So I'll be covering everything that's been made since the last video. Oh yeah, it's been a little over a year since I started this channel actually. And like tracking my channel, so that's cool. I'll be showing a lot of stuff that's been made since the past year and since I started the channel. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I hope you have the patience to watch to the end. I wasn't doing nothing since the last video, I promise. But enough of my rambling, let me get to the progression. Yeah. So here was the first script I ever made back in the 20th of May 2020. And don't mind my avatar, but this was the start of my progression. Here is the first experience that I created where I managed to upgrade my skills in developing, and I actually made a couple of scripts. I think you can see them up here. We got this little pillar thing, the fireball, the little explosion on the floor, and this little cutscene that plays. And I think that's about it. I'm not too sure, but yeah. And also this little animation that plays as well, and a sprint script. Most of these were heavily inspired from a YouTuber named Red. I don't know if he still uploads to this day, but he's one of the main reasons why I even continued scripting as a whole, because his videos were really helpful. So you should definitely look at his channel. But yeah, I'll link it in the description as well, just in case any of you guys want to start learning. He's really good at explaining how to make certain moves and stuff. And I mostly learned all of my fundamentals from YouTubers such as I forgot his name, but the Dev King. But yeah, those are the main people that really started or helped me to get better at the game, or at scripting. Not by helping me one-to-one, but from their videos. I'm rambling, but yeah, that's about it. Let's move to the next one. Here is the second base plate I have ever made, and it might look similar to the one that you already know, or to the one that I already have right now, and that's because I originally wanted this base plate to be where I started Nara Studios, but obviously that didn't happen, and that's because I quit. I quit Roblox developing because at the time it got way too difficult for me. So all the scripting, all the minor spelling mistakes, all the syntax errors, blah blah blah. And eventually I had enough and I just quit. But I decided that there's no point just stopping there, and I gotta get past those errors. And I came back to scripting, and then this move right here, you can see the animation for it playing. This move is the first move, my first proper move that I've ever scripted, and I'll show it right here. Boom. The tracking doesn't even work properly, but yeah, I was tryharding. I think it took me around a week or 2 weeks to complete this move, because I was researching stuff as well as trying to do it all at once. And I was experimenting with VFXs and everything. As you can see from there, this is where I really started to get better at VFXs and stuff. As you can see, I made all these particles one by one. Well, I didn't make these ones, these are free, but putting it together, I mean, it's the principle. But yeah, let's move to the next one. My Beginning. That is the title of the first ever video I posted on Nara Studios, called My Beginning. I titled it My Beginning because it's the day that I really chose to become a developer on Roblox. Since that day, I made a promise to myself that I would at least get to becoming a really good at scripting before I make any rash decisions like quitting again, like I did last time. And since My Beginning has been uploaded, I made 2 moves, the Rush Ultimate and the Damning Finisher. If you were here since the beginning of this channel, then you would know, but if you wasn't, I'll show you the moves right now. So this is the Rush Ultimate. Animations are a little buggy because it's outdated to the current script I have for the movement. And this move right here is called the diamond finisher. I'll show it right now. Just give me a second. There we go. Spawn of the dummy, and then here it is. That is the diamond finisher. My best move I've ever made on Roblox to this day, and the best looking thing I've done on Roblox to this day. But I've also made stuff similar to that, but not a whole move in general. But yeah, that is just, well, I'm only showing that as a progression log, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was my beginning, and I will show you now all the stuff that I've done since those two moves have been created. So this is everything that's been happening to me and Roblox Studio and my development within the past 7 months. The first thing that I attempted to do after finishing the diamond finisher was to create an inventory system. As you can see here, I made a hotbar, 10 slots, and an inventory. This does not work, but the hotbar works at least. I can select an item, I can toggle between them, and then it works. I can move it in different spaces, and it works. And if you click off the number that's not the same number, then it will unequip it. Blah blah blah, like how a normal inventory system should work. That's about it. But if you try and move it into the inventory, it won't work. Well, it works, but you can't get it back. So that's unfortunate. But after the inventory system, I wanted to create combat with that scythe server there, but that didn't go to plan as well, because though I made it work, so if you were to equip it with the little like GUI prompt that pops up, we'll say origin, give a little title, his first edge in our bounty of being in his weakened state, ready to grow your conviction. That's just deeper lore about my game that I want to create, but I'll get to that later. But anyways, now that I've equipped origin, if I press the middle mouse button, it will change the combat to origin. But I'll explain the combat, well, my idea of the combat I'm still going to implement. I'll explain it later. If not, I'll probably do it in a different video, because I'm still not too sure how I'm gonna sort it out. But yeah, that is the inventory GUI. Now let's move on to the next one. Alright, here is the movement script that I made after I finished making the inventory system. So I'm standing still, there's an idle animation playing, and then I walk, there's a walk animation, sprint animation, dash animation, jump animation. There is a triple jump, but I haven't finished animation for it yet. But yeah, that's the animations. And I also made a ragdoll script and system that will toggle whenever you get low HP, or whenever you get to 0 HP. Then it will ragdoll you, and it won't kill you immediately. But I'll showcase that probably in a different video, not now. This is just a quick overview. And also, yes, I have been making music in OSTs. If you've noticed, the background music throughout this entire video have been audios that you probably haven't heard before. It's because I made all of them. The one that's currently playing right now is called the Dreadful Athenaeum. Personally, my favorite OSTs of the one that I've made ever, but yeah, just a heads up. My good friend Gonzi actually taught me how to use FL Studio, and that's the only reason why I'm making music now, because I like it and I enjoy it. So yeah, now let's get to the main part of the video, the more interesting part of the video, the cosmetic specs. So after I had finished doing the ragdoll script, I had moved to making cosmetic specs for my testers and my server. These testers have been in my server and have been watching my content since I first started the channel back in 2022, so I think sometime around there. And these are them right here, Waffle, Gonzi, and Sukoto. I've made them all cosmetic specs, and I'll showcase them real quick. Waffle, could you please tell me your spec? So he has the solar and lunar. It's just two planets that rotate around him constantly, and if he jumps, so like if he jumps and looks around, they keep the same like axes, if that makes sense. So that's cool. And you can also toggle between the states by pressing minus or equals or plus. Gonzi, could you please tell me your spec? So Gonzi has the Emerald Raijin. It's a spec that I thought up because he had no idea what to do about it, but I think it looks pretty cool. If you go through the stage real quick, Gonzi. So like, yeah, appreciate it. This is the surge state, and go to the next one. And this is the overclock state. Looks pretty nice in my opinion. Took me a minute to do this, but yeah, his spec was the most challenging for me to script because it took me around 500 lines, but like it's just really complicated. That's all I can really say for it. And Sikoto, could you please show me your back? He has the Avum runes. His title is the Avum Keeper, and he just has these runes that glow on his back. You can see he switched to the pulse state, and then if you go to the next one, that is the stable state where like it just doesn't glow at all. It just stays one color. And he can also change the color as well by pressing minus and plus. Yeah, that's about it for the cosmetic specs. Next, I'm going to make another one for another tester of mine called Blessed, but I'll get into that later. Yeah, now I'm going to get to the next part of this video. I forgot to mention something about Sukoto's spec, the Avum Keeper, and it's that it scales, like the rate at which it glows, it scales with your HP and your max HP. So if I go to the order log real quick and change my HP to 1, oh, sorry, change it to 1, then it'll start glowing really fast, and then it will slow down the rate of glowing like gradually as my HP rises. If I change it real quick to the pulse state, it also affects the pulse as well, and whatever color it's on. So just a quick little heads up. Alright, now for the next part. Here are a couple and a few of the VFXs that I've made during the past 7 months. I'm not going to show everything I've done just because I don't want this video to be too long, but I might show some at the end if there's still some time left. But I still want to cover a bunch of other stuff like my modeling progress and other stuff as well. So yeah, here's just a few, and I'll let the music play. Some of you may know that I draw in my free time. I like drawing, and I took art for my GCSEs when I was in secondary school. So when I like to draw, I like to think of ideas and draw them and then put them into studio and attempt to model it. That's what I've been trying to do anyways for the past 7 months. And I've only done 3 things. I've obviously modeled my origin scythe. I drew it first on paper. If I have a picture of it, I'll put it up right now. But I drew it on paper, then I put it into Blender, then I made it and I put it into Roblox. So that was my first modeling accomplishment, if you will. And my second drawing I did was actually Gonzi's. No, it wasn't actually. It was Sukoto's runes. Well, it wasn't my drawing. Sukoto had originally sent me a couple PNGs of the type of runes he would like in his spec, and then I drew a brief overview of the layout of the cosmetic spec, and then I put it into Roblox again. And my third thing I drew and modeled was Gonzi's Emerald Raijin. He couldn't really think of a spec that involved lightning, so I did it for him. I drew a little thing, a circle with lightning on it. He said that he liked it, so I was like, bet. So I just finished it, and it turned out pretty good. So I was like, bet, I'm gonna model this. And somehow I did it. I showed the progress that I took for making the Emerald Raijin, but it was it was difficult because it was my first time modeling a dynamic thing on Blender. My first time modeling something that had spiky ends, if that makes sense. I unfortunately don't have any recordings of me like modeling it like live, but I will show you some pictures of the progress. About it for my modeling. I mean, I do some other stuff here. I drew a little guy with dreads, so that's cool. Right, let me go to the next part of the video. I'm waffling. In conclusion, since the 19th of August 2022, I have managed to create the Rush Ultimate, the Damning Finisher, 5 official OSTs, an inventory script that's not finished yet, a combat concept idea, lore for my future game, and I modeled Origin, the Avon Runes, aka Cosmetic Specs, and the Emerald Raijin. Also, in general, I've upgraded my skills as a developer. I've gotten better at scripting, modeling, VFX creating, sound effects, composing music, and my digital UI and animation. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but yeah. But that's not really important. What's important is that over the years, I've managed to build a small community of people that really think I've got potential to be a better developer. And those are the people that are in my Discord server, that actively talk and communicate with me and the other people that are there as well. And I really appreciate each one of y'all for even being there since the beginning, because even though it didn't feel like a year, it was probably rough waiting for me to upload or like even post amount of stuff, because I admit I was slacking. Throughout the years, I was constantly delaying stuff and getting to work and then not getting to work and then playing games and just not being consistent. But recently I've picked up my speed. But yeah, that would be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you subscribed, but I'd appreciate it more if you join the Discord server, because that's where I'm really active and talking with all of you. But that would do it. Oh, before I forget, I mentioned that I was gonna showcase or elaborate on Blessed's Cosmetic Spec and the lore of my game and the combat, but I won't do that this video. I will be explaining all of that in another video, maybe the next one, but who knows. But yeah, that's it really. I'll see y'all in the next video. Until then.